Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with another Speaking My Mind episode. Hope you guys are all doing well. Oi, almost tripped over there. Haha. Of course that was going to happen at some point. You know, nothing is perfect, that is for sure, guys. I just literally noticed there was a red detached line saying footpath closed. I was thinking, footpath closed? What? In the park? Unbelievable. And there's me tripping over again. God, not paying attention at all today, am I? Zero idea. Well, to be fair, I am wearing my boots. Although it's not often that I wear them, to be fair. And when you're wearing boots as well, in comparison to obviously shoes and whatnot, that obviously applies more pressure to your feet. So it means you have to put more, I'm getting a little fly trying to get in my eye. That means applying a little bit more pressure to you, using up a bit more energy there. Oh dear, then wasn't expecting to start off with all this going on, but there you go. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I've spoken about it so many times on Speaking My Mind, but I just love talking about it, guys. I love traveling. I wish if there was one thing I had, if money wasn't a factor, I would take my partner and I would go and travel around the world. I'd be very cautious about certain countries that I wouldn't go to, but I would travel around the world and I'd try to do it as safe as possible to see so much of the world that you can, because there is so much to see and so much to learn out there in the real world. And yes, you do have the power of the internet at your fingertips that can teach you about things and the world that you didn't know about. Yes, that is absolutely true. But seeing there, meeting the people and getting to know the cultures and whatnot, that's a more powerful thing. You know, one of the places that I've always wanted to go to is the Great Wall of China. I would love to go to Beijing, love to see China. I love to visit the country, even though that I have differences in terms of political views. Doesn't mean to say that I would want to go there one day. I don't know if I'll ever be able to go there one day because of things that I've said about the country from a political standpoint. So chances of me ever going to China are almost very, very unlikely. Which is a shame. But for example, like Japan, that's definitely somewhere I want to go. The culture, the people, obviously the wrestling, because they've got very good with wrestling as well. But I would like to do something like that, especially with a big group of people, not just kind of myself via Japan, because obviously there's a language barrier there. But Japan is definitely somewhere I would love to go to. I'd definitely be enjoying that. I've been fortunate enough I've been to Germany, but I only went to Hamburg. Berlin is definitely a place I want to go. I want to learn about the history of the World War II. Of course, there's and it's also a great city with lots of culture and history behind it as well, which is another reason why I want to go to Berlin. Another place that I actually haven't been, even though it's quite close to me, is Paris. It's one actually on my bucket list that I do actually want to go to. It's not a very high priority one, but I do think one day me and my partner are going to go to Paris at some point. The city of love, as they call it, I believe, as well. I've been fortunate enough to visit many parts of England. I've visited quite a lot of Wales as well. I definitely intend to go back to Wales again someday. I do intend to go back to Ireland as well. Not sure about if I want to do Northern Ireland again, but to be fair, I've done a lot of Northern Ireland as well. But there's quite a bit of Scotland that I want to see as well. I've been fortunate enough to go to Iceland, of all countries, as well. That was definitely a fascinating place to go to as well. There's a lot of European nations with rich history and different people and cultures, all sorts there. There's so many different countries there, like Slovenia, Slovakia, Croatia, Luxembourg. Poland is another one I definitely want to visit. Lots of wonderful places. But the problem is that a lot of things just come down to money as well. Now some people might say, well, you can do it on a budget as well if you really wanted to. And yeah, maybe you could. I could. But there are, I'm thinking about there are some of the sacrifices are not worth some of the things I want to do. But we'll continue to try and go to places that we haven't been to, partner as much as we possibly can. I don't like going to the same place twice. However, with the exception of going to places along the coast here in England, which are not too far for me and my partner to travel down to, such as Hastings, for example. It's not a big deal, but there's lots of wonderful places. Australia's a country that, I would definitely love to spend at least a month, maybe, a month in. I would love to do a lot of traveling in Australia, visit lots of places and meet lots of wonderful people there as well. Many of you know that New Zealand is one of my long-term holiday places to go to, and that is one of my dream places to go to is New Zealand. Visit the country and see Lord of the Rings. That's one of my places that I've always wanted to go to as well. But who knows? If and when I go to any of these places, there may be some of you who are watching have been lucky enough and fortunate enough to go to many of these places. Canada is another country that has a lot of rich history as well. I've always wanted to go to South America. If there's one thing I'd like to do before I kick the bucket in this life, it's definitely set foot on all 4 continents in some way, shape or form. That's something I would like to do at least if possible. But what countries should I go and visit if I get the opportunity to go to? I want you guys to let me know in the comments where I should visit that I haven't visited. Give me some countries that but maybe might be able to afford to be able to go to, and might be worth going to in the long term. Let me know down in the comments below places that you've been to yourself that I haven't done. Generally curious to hear what you guys have to say on that. And if you've watched this far, please hit that like button, mention Pingo in the comments so I know that you've watched it to the end. So if you have, because I really do appreciate those who watch it to the end. And thank you very much for watching, and like, share and subscribe as always, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.